Hey guys, I just want to talk to you a little bit today about using exercise bands at home, give you a couple tips and tricks on how to use them. Most of the bands that I recommended people purchase are a set of bands. So you'll have multiple resistance bands, then a set of handles that will attach to any bands or any combination of bands, and then most of them come with the door anchor and an ankle strap as well. So the door anchor is key because this gives you access to a lot of upper body exercises that you wouldn't normally be able to do. So when you're using the door anchor, you want a door that closes towards you, ideally. We don't all have access to that, but if you do, this is the setup that you would like to be using. This way you ensure that you're pulling towards you, the door is shut, and it's not going to open to where you're going to get hit with the band. If you don't have a door that shuts towards you, use a door that has a deadbolt or some other really secure locking mechanism. So to use the band at the top of the door, you're just going to slide it up top and then as close to the hinges as you can. So this just ensures that it's a little bit more stable and sturdy. And then once you attach it, you thread your band through. Step back until you have the amount of resistance that you need to do exercises like lat pull downs or straight arm press downs. You'll also be able to do like tricep exercises here in various different directions. So for chest exercises, anti-rotation presses, and rows and things like that, you're going to want to shut the band in the door at the side, or the anchor. So your anchor goes in here, and then a lot of times, depending on how tight your doors are, you'll be able to slide it up and down to the height that you need it at. So for an anti-rotation press or a row, you're going to want it a little bit lower, so somewhere between belly button and shoulder height, so you can do an anti-rotation press or any rowing movements. And then personally, I like to lift it up a little bit higher for anything regarding the chest. So if you're doing a chest press or a chest fly, I like it up a little bit higher. That way it doesn't rub on your arms quite as much. It feels a little bit better. So that's how you use your door anchor. And we'll move on next to how to use the band for lower body exercises. All right, so now I want to talk to you about doing exercises where the band is secured underneath your feet. You have a few options for how much tension you need for them depending on what the exercise is. So for exercises like split squats or reverse lunges, you'll just want to secure the band under one foot, the front foot. Make sure the band is underneath the ball of your foot and that you're pressing down in to the floor using the whole upper part of your foot. Otherwise the band's going to roll out and it can be really frustrating. So for things like your reverse lunges or split squats, bring the handles up to the shoulders, set up your position, and perform your exercise. So if you start to lose that pressure, you'll notice the band will either start coming forward or backwards depending on where the tension is. For exercises like squats, you just want to make sure that you have an even amount of tension on either side. So a lot of times I'll kind of step with one foot and then come in with the other foot, test it out. So I've got more tension in between my feet here to give more length on the band on the outside. But you can also not create that tension in between the feet to have more tension up from the feet to the handles. So again, squats, you'll bring it up to the shoulders. Make sure you're pressing down into the floor so that the band stays secure. So for things like an overhead press, you have a couple options depending on how much tension you want on the band. So for more tension, you can use both feet. And for less tension, just secure the band under one foot and do more of a staggered stance. All right, for deadlifts, Generally for deadlifts, you're going to be using a band that's a little thicker, so you don't need handles for this. For the deadlift, you can do this one of two ways. The first way is just to lay the band out onto the floor, kind of step down with one foot on one side of it, making sure that foot is underneath your hip where you want it for deadlifts, and then you're going to bring a little bit of slack in between your feet and then place the other foot. So you've got this little loop here, if you will, that you're going to hold on to for your deadlift. So I usually just grab the band itself, press down, stand all the way up. So if you can't stand all the way up, you're going to come back down and give yourself a little bit more slack in the band. When you come down, you want to make sure you're keeping tension on it and that it doesn't completely go slack. So as you come down, stop where you still feel the tension and then bring it back up. Another option for deadlifts is to attach the ends to each other. And then the same thing, you'll just set up with enough slack. But sometimes having the ends together, depending on how much slack you have on it, it can help secure the band around your feet a little bit more. All right, so now for a little bonus. Most of the band sets come with the ankle strap, meant to go around the ankle to do exercises like a hamstring curl or kicking it out to the side, adduction. But they're not my favorite exercises, and I found a much better way to use the ankle strap. So if you have a banister at home or some sort of pole that's a support for your basement or garage or something like that, you can use this as an anchor point on your banister instead of using a door. So you would just wrap the ankle strap around your banister or whatever else you have access to, making sure that it's nice and secure. And then you can just thread your band through one of these rings. And then whatever exercise you're doing, you go ahead and do that. This again would work for any exercise where the band needs to be above like the door handle. So obviously if you're doing a lat pull down, this isn't going to work, but for any of the exercises where you need the band between belly button and shoulder height, or even for more floor exercises, you can lower it all the way down. And it just gives you a different option for an anchor point. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me a message at mary@mbstrength.com.